Joy to the world. The Lord has come. Let us receive our King. Let every heart, preparing room, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing. Happy holidays, everybody. It is almost Christmas time. Most at Christmas time. It's almost Christmas time. I ain't bought no damn gifts. I just been working. Y'all tell me, have y'all went Christmas shopping yet? I ain't been able to get nothing, y'all. They've been working us 11-hour shifts 5 days a week and 12-hour shifts 5 days a week. So I ain't had time to do nothing but use the bathroom, eat, drink, go to sleep, say hey to a couple of people, social media here, social media there, and all over again. That's it, child. So I ain't had time, so I guess most of my folks gonna have to get their Christmas gifts out for Christmas. Okay, they have them sales anyway, them after Christmas sales, so I'm excited about that. But anyway, first of all, before I start this review of Tamar and Vince, I wanted to give a shout out to two people. Last week I was trying to remember two names of the folks that Vince and Tamar used to be friends with, like a few years ago or so, but they fell out for whatever reason. I forgot. But shouts out to Just Bree. That's Just and BRII. Shouts out to you, love. Thanks for subscribing. And the people that I was trying to remember, but I couldn't at the time, was April and LaShawn Daniels. Y'all remember them? They used to go on a little couples trip with Vince and Tamar or whatever. So yes, it was them. And I also want to give a shout out to my girl Just Read My Book One. A song that I was just randomly singing in the review, like I usually do, is it was In Vogue, Hold On to Your Love. Ooh, my first mistake. Okay, so yes, Tamar and Vince, child. So I got a lot to talk about, and if I'm looking down, it's because I'm looking down at my notes to make sure I ain't missed nothing, because I have a lot to say in this review. So pace yourself, get your popcorn, get your banana, I don't know, whatever your snack of choice is, just get it. Whatever your drink of choice is. As of right now, mine is water. On my days off is when I usually pull out the coconut rum and Moscato and things. Okay. So yes, I'm reviewing episodes 3 and 4 and smashing them up. There's no need to do 2 separate videos, child, on the same show. That's why it's going to be, a little lengthy, this video. So make sure you got your shit. I'm going to give y'all time to get y'all stuff. Okay. Y'all got y'all stuff? Alright. Chips and dip. Alright. Okay, so the episode began where it left off last week. Or 2 weeks ago, whenever. This episode 3 was, they're all in Mexico. Tamar brought the friends along, EJ and James. And it was just Vince, Logan, Tamar, EJ, and James at the beginning of the trip. So anyway, there it's the next day, and Vince had stormed off or whatever because him and Tamar had got into it because everybody around the table started talking about gout, and that offended Tamar, but that offended Vince. But Vince didn't want to be there with them gays. To be completely honest, let's just be real. He didn't want to be there with them. But I think that he should have specified to Tamar that he did not want a trip with the whole entourage. That he just wanted a trip with him, her, and Logan. He should have said that to her. But Tamar, she was the one that wanted this trip, wanted this getaway. Jordan, that was basically just a fun, trip for her because she was around her comfort zone. She was around her friends. But Vince didn't have anybody. But like I just said, why didn't he bring somebody with him? If she brought her friends, why couldn't you bring yours so that when she's off with her friends, you'll have somebody to talk to? That doesn't make any sense. But I feel like a part of Vince's gig, like just watching this show, is I feel like he tries his hardest to make Tamar look bad. I mean, she leave that door pretty open for him. It's pretty easy because she's so Tamar, she's so over the top and stuff. But I feel like it's his mission to kind of like embarrass her and make her look like she's the problem when really he's the bigger problem. I'll get to that later. But anyway, they're around the table. So it's EJ James, another guy they bought. I forgot his name. But he's really quiet. He's cool. And they all are, but they're just not, Vince's speed or whatever. For whatever reason. Like I said, I don't think Vincent Herbert is homophobic, but, it's just like a thing, most straight guys wouldn't just want to hang around a bunch of gay guys. In my mind, it's what I think, it's just like, it's just one of those things. I don't know. It's just very weird. It's unfortunate. There are some people who don't care and, we love those people, but I'm just saying it is what it is. So, anyway, they're up and basically EJ them asked Vincent, why did you just walk off yesterday, from, the table and stuff? He was just like, well, I didn't feel like I needed to report to y'all, the Three Stooges, to tell y'all. He was just like, I just felt like getting up. Vince got a real smart mouth. He really do. He always had one. So I was just like, okay. So anyway, they was just like, you know what, we're going to have a good day. Tamar's publicist, she came by. What's her name? Marisol or something. This Latina lady. She brought her son, cute as a button, to come and play with, Vincent and stuff. Hold on. To come and play with Logan, excuse me. And so, whatever. So, more people for Tamar. So they went ATV driving. It was funny. EJ, his wig and all of what he had going on wouldn't fit in the helmet and his hair and all that and head. It was funny. But anyway, so they all get in, ATVs, and Vincent and Tamar, they get into it. Get into the ATV, and the whole time they're talking, on camera. They have confessionals where it's just them by themselves, and then they have confessionals where it's them together. And that's why I feel like sometimes it's Vince gets pleasure out of trying to embarrass Tamar, make her feel some kind of way when she messes up. Because if you noticed, if y'all watched the episode, that Vince let Tamar drive. And so if she was to mess up or to not do something right, that would give him the opportunity to talk about her or make her feel like she's dumb, or, make her feel like that she ain't crap for messing up or making a mistake or saying something wrong or doing something wrong or whatever. That's why he sits back and just kind of just lets her go. Because it's a possibility that she could make a mistake on something, just like with anybody, there's a possibility. But, it's like he's one of those people that kind of wants to just nitpick and nag, and they do that to each other. Tamar does it to him too, so that's annoying. It's just kind of like poking the bear constantly, back and forth. There's no ending to it. So they all get to the beach. They all take a little break. They're all down there talking, and Vince is sitting on the rock by himself. He was just like, what, that's just not my conversation. Talking about Vince, then talking about Tamar's friends. Tamar's friends are cool people, but it's just not my conversation. He kept saying he wish he would have had the opportunity to just be him and Tamar and the baby. I'm like, well, why didn't you just say that and let Tamar go off on her own trip with her friends or something if you didn't want to be around all of them? But then he had a scene later on with Benzino. They was eating crabs and things and swallowing butter. And he was just like, Tamar's friends, they're cool people. There's no need to get mad about it. They're always around, yada to the yada. Yeah, because one's the stylist and one is hair. So yeah, they are always going to be around, but there's certain times where, I mean, you cool enough with them to tell them, hey, I would just want to have family time, but he just was just like, oh well, just never mind, just forget it, because to be honest, I feel like they both like will have people around them to distract them from their marital issues, to keep them away from each other. So because sometimes I'm sure they don't want to be bothered with one another, and if it's other people around, they can kind of ignore each other for a while and talk to those other people. That's another thing. Just Bree, one of my subscribers, said, who left the comment. She said that maybe she invited EJ and James because she didn't want to be around Vince. That Mama Braxton going around here saying that Vince is, him and Tamar up against the walls and things, allegedly. So, maybe she don't feel safe with Vince anymore by herself. You never know, child. I'm sure she'll never talk about the abuse, unless she write a book or something, or they pay her a lot of money to talk about it. But I just feel like Miss Evelyn Braxton, I just don't feel like she has a reason to lie about something like that. And who would just make up that kind of story about their own child? I mean, the Kardashians, that Kris Jenner, they'll do anything for attention. But a black Southern church mama to sit there and lie about some stuff like that, I don't think so. Now, mind you, my mama wouldn't just be sitting there, watching me get beat. But, I mean, so I ain't with Evelyn on that. Just sitting there letting your daughter, just sitting there getting choked out by a man. Logan was fine. Put a little chair up to the door. He was asleep anyway. Okay? You go down there and save your daughter from this big wildebeest that's diving on top of her. Okay, Supermaning on her. Child, please. That's a whole lot of man to be diving on somebody. So anyway, so let's see. So they did that. Tamar was just like, well, you left me. He got back in the car. He was like, I didn't leave you. I was just letting you do your thing. And, everything is a smart remark when it comes to Vince. That Vince gives to Tamar, it seems like. Okay, so they get to the first table scene, child. What all they've been doing, Vince and Tamar, is just they'll go on these little trips, they'll go drinking, and then they eat. It's just I love to be on Tamar and Vince, child. They always eating. I live for it. So they get to the first table scene, child. So Vince asked Vince asked James. Well, he asked the whole table, but James was the one that spoke up. He was like, did anybody here feel inspired, to be in love and all that kind of stuff? And James was just like, yeah. I mean, to a certain extent, but I mean, I just can't deal with BS. I'm not in a relationship right now, but I just can't deal with BS because, I'm not the one. I'll fight somebody and stuff, and I'm totally here for it. Like I don't have time to deal with BS. I work too many hours. I really do. I can't just. I got time limits for people at this point. So I'm like, hey, unless you're gonna reimburse me my money that I'm losing for sitting here dealing with your mess, then fine. But other than that, nope. And so EJ, he was just like, you know what, I want to be in love so bad, yada to yada. I want that Velcro feeling. And Tamar is just like, well, good luck with that. And then Tamar asks Vince, this is her jab to him, says, well, how do you feel about people saying that, what'd she say? She said she wished somebody would have told them that being Velcro was bad because they was always stuck up against each other constantly. I mean, Tamar, you didn't know that being stuck up against somebody every day is annoying and frustrating and awkward, especially since y'all work together in every single area of y'all life. Like, didn't nobody tell y'all, like, who? Hello? I think that's kind of obvious. Don't be stuck up under somebody, your significant other, constantly every single day. Because you do tend to lose yourself, naturally. It's you just wake up one day and just be like, who am I? Like, I ain't did nothing I wanted to do. Child, I ain't talked to my sister in about 2 years. Like, what's going on? It's just, you just have to remember your previous life before your significant other, but they've been together about 14 years, so. What did Vince say? Vince's whole thing is, Tamar was like, Or other people have the luxury to miss their man, to just have their man. But my man is not my man. He's my manager. He's my baby daddy. I'm married to him. He's my agent. He's everything. But I mean, y'all been doing this arrangement for how long? Like, this should have been, and I guess just recently it became so stressful and such a big thing. But I mean, hell, Vince said we started off working together since the very beginning, So who knows, child? I was just like, child, it's a mess. And so Vince's whole thing is, that's what happens when you get married. You're supposed to be Velcro, that's what I thought love was. And he asked Tamar, when did it change for you? And she said when she started feeling like Waffle House, scattered, smothered, and covered. I was like, Lord, that was the name of this episode 3. I was just like, a mess, and I just left Waffle House. Shouts out to Waffle House. Well, y'all tell me in the comments what y'all like to get at Waffle House, and I'll give y'all a shout out in next week's review. What I like to get? I like to get random moment. Y'all know I do this. I like to get grilled chicken wraps with grilled onions on the inside, well done, cheese and bacon. And then I like to get double hash browns, smothered and covered, which is with grilled onions and cheese. And then I also get it chunked sometimes too, where they add ham to it. That's what I like to get. And then I like to get a sweet tea in a to-go cup, or I'll get a cherry and vanilla mixed together Coke. So I like to get cherry vanilla Coke with a lot of cherry and a lot of vanilla, or I get a sweet tea with my meal. And then I usually top it off and get a to-go waffle, original waffle, cooked light. Because if you don't tell them cook light, they overdo it, and it's the color of my skin, in which I love my skin, but I don't want to eat it. Unless it's a brownie, child, unless it's something that's supposed to be melanin inspired, child. I want no child. But anyway, I'm a mess. Okay, so Vince told her underneath his breast to shut the fuck up. Y'all saw that? I was like, ooh. He thought the cameras weren't gonna see it. See, you would think it's all Tamar because she's so over the top and so extra and so outspoken. You would think it was all Tamar that was the issue, but a lot of the times it's Vince. Vince is an a-hole. He straight up is. Like, from watching the show Tamar and Vince, I wouldn't have even known, especially this season, I wouldn't have even known that he's like that. But just from seeing him on other stuff, because he's always quiet, plays the humble role, sweet, nice. But you never know what's going on in somebody's house. When the camera shut off and when the doors close and lock, you never know what's been going on in their household. And it's just crazy. Vince don't love nobody but that son and that dog, Miracle. Child, it's allegedly. But it's a mess, child. I told y'all don't be coming after me about what I say. I ain't got no money for you. I ain't got no money. I already told you my folks got to wait to after Christmas sales to get a gift. Okay. So she was just like, what, I'm just not the same person at 26 that I am at 36. And Vince said that I don't want to be in a relationship where the love changes, and they're talking in their confessional. She kind of does this, like rolls her eyes back. He was like, you can roll your head all the way back until your makeup runs down your neck. I was like, ooh, he's nasty. Ooh, child. How she ain't popped them beside his head yet? Because he'll probably hit her back. That what they say? You ain't hear that from me though, allegedly. He's just so nasty talking. But Tamar does, the same thing. She's extra. She makes jabs and say smart stuff. But he just takes it overboard. And a lot of times, at least recently, it seemed like he's been starting the mess. Like he'll start it with her. Okay, so then the girl, Marisol, or whatever her name is, she asked Tamar, how are the tickets for the trip for her DC show? Y'all know she's from Baltimore, Maryland, DMV area. So she was like, well, how the ticket sales going, Vince? Because Vince is her manager too. And he was just like, what? You actually sold out the DC shows in like 26 hours. She was like, what? I sold out. You know, it's a big thing for her. You know, she's going back home and everything. Um, so he was like, yeah, you know, you can't tell people certain stuff because their head to get big. See, another jab. I'm just like, oh my god. And she was like, Vince, that don't make my head big. Like, you know, but you withhold information from me constantly and yada yada. So then basically Vince got up and left again. Y'all know he do his stuff, and then he get up and leave, or he gets up and leave when he wants attention. So Vince said in his confessionals that, you know, I didn't mean no harm by what I said. She just took it the wrong way. No, you shouldn't have said that. Why? Who wouldn't take that the wrong way? He's a dick, I swear. So anyway, what happened? The Marisol lady, she got up and talked to Vince. I don't know why she went up to go talk to Vince. Vince is not the kind of person that you can talk to, that you can get up and after there's a big altercation. He's not one of those people that you immediately go up to and ask, are you okay? He's not one of those folks. And depending on how mad I am, I'm not one of those people either. And I'll try my best not to snap you up, you know, when you ain't did nothing to me. But if it's the heat of the moment, you know, I might be a little louder, a little bit more gutter with you. But I don't mean any harm. It's just I'm upset. Give me about 30 minutes or so to calm down so I can get my words together. Because sometimes when I get too upset, I can't talk. It's hard for me to breathe. I just want to swing and cuss and act a fool and jump tables and jump fences. But I haven't had to do that in a long time, thank God, knock on wood. That's not good, that's not positive, that's not becoming, and, you know, I'm a black man, and, you know, electric chair. Immediately. So, I try to calm down. Oh, yes, and, you know, just not push things off your shoulder and just let it go, child. Sometimes you have to. So, let's see. So she went to go talk to him, and Vince was just like, look, lady, I don't mean no harm. I don't really know you like that, but out of respect for you, I just don't want to talk about it. Thank you. Go on back over there and see about your child. I was like, ooh. He didn't say those exact words, but it's basically what he said. Child, so, what did happen? So they sitting and, talking. So we have another scene where Vince and Tamar, we're still on episode 2, child. Episode 3, Scattered, Smothered, and Covered. Vince and Tamar, they have a scene where they're sitting and talking. And, you know, Vince is, you know, he has a close relationship with the label. They talk back and forth, yada, yada. Now, they had already scheduled a day for that day to be Tamar Braxton Day, meaning that that's the day that her album comes out. And she was supposed to be the only artist that had albums coming out on that day, which will give her a better shot at selling records, because she wouldn't have the stiff competition of other artists or more popular artists, you know, that will outsell her, clearly, obviously. But anyway, Tamar finds out that so many other artists was putting out albums on that day, that she put out her album. And so she was just upset and disappointed, because she was just like, you know, she really wanted this album to sell, but with it being so much stiff competition out there and being so many more well-known artists, and to be honest, more pop artists, and you know, Tamar's R&B and stuff, so pop and rock and all that stuff is going to sell way more than R&B. You know, this ain't the 90s anymore, in the early 2000s, unfortunately. I mean, if an R&B album sells these days, more than likely it's from a huge artist, or it's just one of those, like, once in a lifetime kind of things. You know, they might, either you have good sales, but your singles don't do nothing, or you have good singles, but your sales are just okay. Like, it's just always something. So, you know, she wanted that particular day to be Tamar Braxton Day, but Vince did not tell her that, and him being her manager, he was supposed to let her know, look, all these other artists are putting out albums on that same day, but he didn't let her know. She had to find that out. So she's really disappointed, because she knows she's not going to probably sell as much as she wanted to because of all the other artists. So she was upset about that. They started arguing. He was just like, look, that's just not my fault. And what you want me to do? You act like they sat back and waited. It was just like, oh, Tamar putting out her album this day, so I'm gonna put out my album. Artists push things back. Yeah, I understand what people saying. He was telling the truth. But still, Vince, you could have told her. It's just a communication thing. If you're her manager, let her know. But because she's your wife, you pick and choose what you want to tell her, just to nag her, just to get on her nerves. And if you're irritated with her, if it's something personal that went on with you guys, and you're irritated with her at the moment, you're not going to tell her anything good. You're not going to tell her any good news because you're pissed off. That's why y'all shouldn't work together. It works for some couples, but most couples, it's not good for your significant other to be that much involved in your life. It's too much, because you're not just having husband and wife arguments. You're having parent arguments. You're having arguments on each other's family members. You're having arguments on the business, on the music, on the clothing line, on the wig line, the makeup line, whatever else. If they had all that. The ambulance, child. Okay, so anyway, so after that, let's see. So it's the DC shows. So Tamar gets to the whole DC show, child, and she has this whole thing where she's very nervous about performing in her hometown naturally. But she finds out that she wants to talk to her dad because, last time with Braxton Family Values, no, you gotta choose your kids. Y'all remember that, child, when she found out, that the daddy had married his mistress, and the whole my man. So y'all know that whole thing, child. Well, they've been married, but y'all know what I'm trying to say. So yeah, so that was a trip, and Vince, she looking around for Vince, trying to find Vince. Vince outside talking to fans and greeting fans and taking pictures with fans, instead of in there helping her out with sound check and trying to get her together. So Tamar found out last minute that she got to talk to a local news station. She has to interview randomly. And it's 30 minutes until they open the doors to let the people in who came to see her. And, she's just really stressed. It's just a lot going on. Vince had her working the entire day, and she still ain't had time to call her daddy. So she was just like, you know what, manager, what am I supposed to do? She calls him on the phone. Vince come running up there. And this is the one I know that Vince was full of it. So Vince come running up there after taking Instagram pictures with fans of hers. And he comes up there and it was just like, oh, hey, what's going on? And he sees the camera. He was just like, no, you're not going to expose me. Let's not do this right now. Can you guys leave, please? And Tamar was just like, no, because they always think it's me. So you let me know what's going on. See, like I said earlier, Vince he has no problem with putting Tamar out there any kind of way, because he could just sit back and be like, oh, well, do better next time. It's your fault. You did it. You're a grown woman. You should know. You should have control over your emotions and what you say and what you do, yada, yada. And which she should. She should. Men too. Everybody should. But Vince, you do a lot of things that tick her off. And you know exactly what you be doing. And when I saw how mad you got at the cameras for being there, it's like, okay, you really finna cuss this woman out. Or you really finna do something or whatever. Because he wanted the cameras to leave and all that. As if she still wasn't mic'd. So we would still hear the conversation. And so I'm just like, why you want the cameras to leave, Vince? I don't want to be exposed. That word exposed didn't sit well with me. You be doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes, and then all we see is Tamar popping off on you. And then you send back looking like Mr. Innocent. You sneaky. Ooh, child. I know somebody like that. I ain't gonna say no names, but ooh, child. It just ticks you off. And then they went outside to talk, and Vince was on the phone with Logan. I'm like, child, he probably went on the phone with Logan. He was just like, I'm talking to my son. Get the cameras out of here. The camera guy was just like, Vince, this is your show. He was like, I know this is my show, but I don't feel like it. Sometimes you don't feel like it today. This is not my gig. I don't feel like it. I was like, child. So episode 4, child. So that she wraps up the interview, like a true professional. Tamar gets surprised by her brother Mikey. She invited her brother Mikey to the show, but he just popped up and surprised her or whatever. She's in there doing her own makeup. James is working on her wig. And I'm just like, dang, why she ain't at least have a makeup artist? But whatever. It's good to see their brother. They don't get to see their brother that often. I don't think so, because he works or whatever. So shouts out to Michael Braxton. I like him. It's very interesting. I grew up with a family of girls. They were my friends for a long time when I was a child, and they had one brother. It was 5 girls, and they had one brother. And the brother's always quiet and nice and calm and sweet. And it'd be the girls that be the hell raisers and stuff. That's the one thing I've noticed when you have all girl and just like 1 or 2 boy households. It's very interesting how that works out. But anyway, so you surprised her. He was like, look, Vince had me working all day. She was like, I ain't had time to call daddy, yada to the yada. So Tamar, she gets out there and she sings down, of course. So they had a little table scene. And Vince, said in the confessionals, he was like, that has nothing to do with me, that Tamar didn't get to call her father. She was working. Ooh, Vince, child. I cannot. So, even my mom was watching this like a week ago or so, a few days ago. She was like, Vince talked to Tamar like a dog. I was like, yeah. You would never know. Because she's the drag queen and all extra and stuff. But Vince is child. So anyway, they get to this table scene, child. Tamar invites some of her fans. They actually became real friends of hers, so that's cool. They sit down and talk, and Tamar invites some of her fans. And Tamar says to Vince, why did you leave? Why did you walk out the other day? And he was just like, because I saw that you was upset. You was frustrated. And then her and James looked at each other, and I was like, child. I know it's so awkward being around them, I'm sure, when they arguing. And you can't jump in. It's because it's a marriage and you don't want to jump in and defend your friend, because then they might get mad at you and be like, mind your business, and then that's his artist and his wife and what. So it's too many. It's so awkward, I'm sure. So they all sit down talking, and Vince feels like Tamar, she gets upset. So that's the reason why she goes off on me. About stuff, but she really don't mean any harm. But that's the reason she goes off, because she gets nervous, and so she goes off on me, and then I look like the bad guy and all this kind of stuff. And I'm just like, Vince, you really trying to play that victim role. We see straight through you. Okay. So let's see. So Tamar takes EJ and James to go get facials. And they're really funny. I like them. And what happened? So she tells them that basically she's in the works of getting a new manager. It's just too much going on. It's too much stress. I genuinely ain't got time for the mess. So it was just like, well, I mean, just do your thing, whatever. So Vince's friends from New Jersey comes down. One named Scott, and the other one named Eureka, Warren, something. It's an interesting name. I was like, what? So Vince invites his friends down. Tamar's cooking strip club lamb chops for them. They're all sitting around, and this is Tamar's chance to take digs at Vince now. So she fixes them a drink. She's like, oh, Vince, you want a drink? But they're drinking is calorie free. And the friends was just like, that was a jab. And Vince was just like, yeah, she's the biggest hater, yada to yada. I don't know if it could be a little hate there, a little jealousy there. I just feel like Tamar notices that, it's one thing to be confident, but it's another thing to, I feel like Vince is kind of, it do kind of seem like he trying to be extra cute for somebody, because he's so focused on getting the skin surgery, and I don't know, child. I mean, I ain't in that household. It ain't my business, but there's nothing wrong with that man feeling confident. There's nothing wrong with him losing all that weight and feeling himself and all that kind of stuff. But apparently, according to his friends, he always had confidence, even when he was, bigger. So, I mean, child. Tamar did say Vince used to like white girls before he got with her. So, who knows? And he is managing all these women's now. Escape and Remy and... Oh, no, child. So, anyway, she was like, oh, that's not a jab. And then Tamar walked off and left. And then he was just like talking about, yeah, y'all think I'm trying to y'all think I'm losing too much weight. They was like, no, but the guy was just like, you don't want to get too skinny, walking around here looking like a bobblehead. And he was like, yeah, but he was just like talking about lacking confidence. I always had bad bitches and stuff. He said it kind of low. Tamar came around the corner. She was like, you always had what? Like, I heard what you said. He said bad women, beautiful women, and all that kind of stuff. And I'm just like, yeah. You trying to front in front of your friends, Vince. I see what you're doing, child. Trying to look cute. So EJ and James takes Tamar to a sex shop. This is a funny scene. They're playing with the penises and all that stuff. And she asked the lady what's something, that make it happen quick, make them get it over with and climax and all that stuff like Usher. And she was like, oh, this will definitely do it. She got like 6 bottles. She wants it over with, the sex with Vince. I don't think she was ever attracted to Vince anyway, to be honest. Physically, anyway. I think that she fell in love with him definitely as time went on, but she wasn't in love with him at the beginning. No. I think that he was infatuated with her probably, but then she saw he could kind of help her career, had a little change on him, like I think I like you a little more, but then they got together and realized it wasn't all honeysuckle and roses, and yeah, so I think they both got with each other. It wasn't a love at birth, it wasn't a love at first sight thing for neither one of them, I don't think. But child, and they've been working together since the beginning, so it's time for change. It really is too much now. So they take him there, and EJ was just like, "Do y'all do freaky stuff, yada to the yada?" She was like, "What you mean?" So he walked over to Tamar, put her arms around him, picked her up, and threw her down, and all that kind of stuff. And Tamar was excited, child. I saw that big smile on Tamar's face. I was like, "Look at Tamar." Like, she liked it. Ooh, child. Solid as a rock. Yes. EJ looked like, what's the name from Ashford and Simpson, the man. Solid as a rock. He also looked a little bit like, what was the guitar player? Was he the guitar player? I think so. The guy with the long hair and Earth, Wind, and Fire. Okay. I like them, though. I genuinely do. Okay, so what else? Yes, child. So that was a mess. Vincent brought his friends to the cigar shop, and that Eureka, or what's his name, Warner, or whatever the heck his name is. He was just like, yeah, I'm just chilling. I work with my wife. My wife's fine. Everything that I do with my wife, I do with my boys too. So I was like, ooh, hey Warner. How you? And then the other guy, who's built like a patty, said that you can't do everything with your boys that you do with your wife. Some do, clearly. I'm just saying. Hell, this is thoughts and hookers and sluts out here winning every single day, getting wiped up, and why not? So anyway, let's see. So We get to a dinner scene, child. I told y'all all they do is drink, eat, gossip, and sing a little bit, and that's it. And do hair, and that's it. So we have a little dinner scene. We have LaTroy, which is one of Tamar's fans turned into friends. We have EJ. We have James, Tamar, Vince, Benzino, and then Vince's two friends that came from Jersey. So I was sitting around talking. EJ asked Benzino how you doing and where you staying at. He was just like, kind of in the doghouse right now. My girl's really not feeling me like that. But I'm willing to work on it. Tamar was just like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Work on it. And then Scott brings up, which is one of Vince's friends, it's important not to lose yourself in a relationship. And Tamar was just like, yeah, I definitely feel the same way, because once you've been with somebody for so long, you tend to lose yourself, like Eminem. And she was just like, it doesn't mean that you fell out of love with that person. It just means that the way things have been going, it can't be that way anymore for it to work. And Vince was just like, well, a lot of people, you see who people are in the beginning, but you just ignore it because you're so much in love, but then they eventually end up showing you who they truly are, and which is true too. And I say that all the time. I wish people just show you who they are from the beginning, so you wouldn't even waste your time. I mean, who got time for all that? So he was just like, you shouldn't switch up the second 5 years. It's like 1 minute, we good and we cool, and then the next minute you want to switch up. Like, it shouldn't be that way. And I'm like, child. And then the Warner guy started talking. He was just like, yeah, I work with my wife too, but we only work together on one single business, on one project. We can't do it on every single project because it's too much going on. And Tamar was just like, yeah, I completely agree. And sometimes you don't grow at the same time. Let's see. So Tamar takes Vince to a skin doctor because Vince wanted that surgery to look cute for his other woman. No, Vince wanted that surgery because he has a lot of loose skin. He lost weight, but it left some skin hanging, and he wanted to have the surgery to get rid of the skin, which would be a quick fix, but it could possibly affect his blood clots. So she took him to a doctor that she knows to basically have it's not surgery. It's like it's all done by like UV rays and ultrasounds, where they tighten up his skin and stuff that way. And he was like, it's a longer process, but it's a safer alternative than having to cut you open and possibly cause more harm. And so that's Tamar's main focus was. But Vince's main focus was just being cute and being on GQ magazine. Like Tamar said, he wanted to be on Jet Beauty of the Week, which it seems like there might be a little truth to that. I'm just saying. Ain't nothing wrong with the man feeling confident about himself. We all could use a confident boost sometimes. I know I can. But I'm just saying, like, something ain't right, child. He looking cute for somebody. Something ain't right, child. He a little bit too into this thing. I don't know. Y'all tell me in the comments. We can talk about it, of course. So, moving on from that scene, they had a second dinner scene. I told y'all all they do is eat. And Benzino wasn't there this scene. Everybody else was there. They're all talking, having moments, and it was cute. And Vincent and Tamar got into it again. Ooh, I couldn't be their friends. Child, just be ordering drinks left and right. Excuse me. You have a drink. Like, it's exhausting. Like EJ said, being the two main people sitting there arguing, and y'all just sitting there like, what to do? That's so frustrating. Oh my god. So we get to the second dinner scene, child. And they're talking, and Tamar was just like, you know what, I really do want to make this work, but I'm feeling smothered and it's too overwhelming, and all that. And she was just like, I don't want to sit back and argue about nothing and about $1 and all the stupid stuff. And Vince was just like, well, let me know when you're done. And she was just like, you know what? I'm already in the process of looking for a new manager. We need to bring a new manager in. And you know, Vince has been Tamar's manager for the longest, and he was just like, "That's fine, I don't care. Bring a new manager in." And you know, he had to save face in front of his friends, but that obviously, I'm sure, hurt his feelings, because he has done a lot for Tamar Braxton's career. Let's be honest with that. That's just the truth. But at the same time, even though she was kind of unknown as far as with. She was known probably to people in the music industry, but to the outside world like us, she wasn't known. We just knew of Toni Braxton. I didn't even know Toni Braxton had sisters until Braxton Family Values. So, but you know, whatever. But Vincent has done a lot for Tamar, and I'm sure she's appreciative of that. But now it's just too much, and then the alleged abuse and all this other kind of stuff is just a mess. So she was just like, you know what, I just want to bring a new manager in. And he was just like, oh, okay, well, that's fine. Do your thing. You're a grown woman. And he was just like, yeah, I mean, I don't care. And Tamar was just like, okay. So it was just sitting back, and, you know, it's just a mess. It is just truly a mess, y'all. And that was episode 4. The end of 3 and 4, child. And episode 4 was called Love Under New Management. Mickey Howard. Experience is a good teacher. It takes someone like me to lose all the little games that people used to play. Some call it love. Good love stepped in. They're knocking at my door. Sing, y'all. I had to tear it down. A new world of happiness. Turn my world completely. I'm in love under new management. I'm in love under new management. I'm in love. Do-do-do. Come on now. Do-do-do. Y'all, don't come for me for my old school jam. But anyway, y'all, with all that said, I'm Mr. Chalaki. Mr. Chalaki on Google Plus. Follow me at ItsKingsWorld on Instagram and Twitter, at ItsKingsWorld, and on Snapchat, ItsKingsWorld, Facebook, and all that good stuff. All my social media moments will always be in the bottom bar below. Love y'all, respect y'all, and y'all are the real MVPs. Whoever watched this video all the way to the end, I appreciate y'all. But I just had a lot to talk about, y'all. I really feel something for this whole Tamar and Vince thing. I genuinely love Tamar. I have all 3 of her albums. I think she's super duper talented. And I do have respect for Vince. I'm side-eyeing him a little bit after watching these shows, these episodes, because I'm seeing he's not as innocent as he seems, or he has seemed in the past. So yeah, child, look so deceiving. Don't believe what you hear, and believe a little bit of what you see. But yeah. So with that said, I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.